but it was only accessible in her studio, but no one's allowed to go in there, like, you know, friends, pedestrians, whatever, because she's working there, but she's working on the sly on other projects. So we had to go in the middle of the night and sneak into the building where her studio is to watch her work, to see her work, which was great because she kind of lived half time in that studio. So it was cozy. You know, we had some tea and watched some amazing stuff of hers. So we spend time with her. Then we do, of course, a little sightseeing, you know, but again, that's kind of weird. I mean, it's not like being, at least at the time, like a normal tourist. This was not like normal tourism in '83 in Czechoslovakia. They're all like residents. Tourism was not a huge industry in Prague in '83. So we are now house sitting. We're sightseeing. And I come away, and all that time in Prague, I buy like an etching of a famous person, character in a tragedy. I don't know what, that famous, she's holding a platter with a severed head on top. It's a very famous image. So I got an etching of that in a frame to take back to the States, to take back to Austria, Vienna, then the States. So I get my one like item and nobody else gets anything. And we sort of wrap up our visiting with my friend with every intention of staying in touch with this person as we had since the 70s. Ooh, my books. Actually, it's literally in production right now. Just started production yesterday. Anyway, I digress. So we get out of there, you know, again, like I said, architecture to rival Paris, and I am not kidding. I mean, it's not the vibe of Paris, of course, like not by a long shot. They don't have people with Tommy guns at every corner in Paris, but the architecture in and of itself rivals Paris, in my humble opinion. It really does. So we're soaking that up, knowing that this is like the last time. We didn't know that, but like, you know, '89, you know, the walls start coming down. But this was a prime time to see a country like that. And I am actually, you know, kind of in an ass backwards way, glad that I did see a Soviet controlled country in the early '80s, except for the guys with the Tommy guns on the corner. Kind of spooked me a little because, you know, you never know. People with guns, they're people. They got guns. You don't know them. They're humans. You know, what if I tripped and like scared the guy? Stumbled into him, God forbid. So again, same flying station wagon on the way back to Vienna. Not the same flight attendant, but might as well have been. So the flying station wagon gets back to Vienna, and then we have much more time. We were in Vienna for, I don't know, a couple weeks or more. 4 days in Prague, maybe 3 weeks, I don't know. 3 weeks in Vienna, maybe. So I'm going to do a whole show on Vienna, because that in and of itself was odd. Although it's not anything like being in Czechoslovakia, because that's like completely different. You know, Vienna was a very kind of progressive, artsy, like, it's quite amazing actually, Vienna. So that's why I'm going to do a show on it. But I wanted to squeeze in my little Soviet freaky trip to what is now the Czech Republic, then known as Czechoslovakia, with the guys on the Tommy gun, with the Tommy guns on the corners, that you will never see again, right? Wild. So, like I said, we get back to Vienna, we finish out our trip, my mom, my bestie, and then back to the States. It's always via Ireland, because, you know, I'm 50% Irish. My mom was born in, like, you know, Bumfuck, you know, little village, whatever, in a thatch hut in Ireland. So there's always a stop over there. But anyway, I hope I didn't keep you too long today. I hope it was true to form, unlike a weird adventure in a Soviet country. Really the only one that I've ever experienced. So glad I was able to. And I was glad that you could join me today. As always, take good care of yourself, those around you that you care about, that you care to take care of, that are worth taking care of. And in the meantime, tomorrow, same menu. You know the drill. So until then, I love you. Bye.